There's no use. We can't convince them of anything. Chem production has slowed, and rumor has it their leader was taken out by the butcher. There's nothing left but to beat some sense into them. That's what we do best, eh?
Welcome back to Battle for Arcos and episode 11 of 12 in our Dark Uprising campaign. While dreaming of bashing Escher skulls and having an infinite supply of chems, Bone Crusher was notified of an incoming attack by the Fallen Angels. With their leader in recovery, the Fallen Angels have launched an attack to show they are not scared, they are not broken, and they still hold a grip on the chem supply in the hive. Not believing the Iron Skulls' tale of high sec, the Fallen Angels set out to establish their dominance over mankind in the most literal sense. As always, thank you for watching our content. Be sure to leave us a like if you enjoy it, as it helps our content get found. And before we get started, let's take a look at this week's campaign table. The Fallen Angels are 3-2 and tied with the Iron Skulls for wins. The Iron Skulls do have 19 out of actions compared to their 8, but the Fallen Angels have much more rep. Meat could potentially be an issue for both sides going into this game. High Sec and the Lodge of the Damned are tied at 2-3 and will throw down next time in our final battle. The Fallen Angels will have their full roster except for one key piece, as their leader, Viper, was taken out in the last game by the Hand of Crimson. The champion, Lace, will lead the charge today. Bella and Razor spend 6 XP to increase their weapon skill by 1. Sleek increases her willpower by 1. Lace adds 1 to her movement, and Eclipse increases her cool by 1. In territories, the settlement generates 5 meat and the Ash Gate generates 6 portions of meat. They depart today with 9 fighters, all fed and ready for action. The Iron Skulls will be down 3 fighters today, as Scuzz, Dipstick, and Chop are in recovery. They will spend their XP as well. Bone Crusher will increase his cool, Acid increases his strength by 1, Diesel and Butch improve their intelligence. In territories, the settlement generates 4 meat, Fuse and Rivet will receive blessings from the shrine, as well as 1 piece of meat. The Manufactorum level generates 1 piece of meat as well. They will depart for battle with 7 fighters, all fed. Today's match will be show of force. The Fallen Angels will attack, and each defender eliminated is worth 1 victory point, 2 if they are within 6 inches of another defender. The Iron Skulls can get a VP as well by taking out the Escher force, or by escaping the battlefield on the opposite side of their deployment. I don't think we'll see much of that in this one, but it's time to put all the chips in and see which gang will ascend to the top of the table with a potential triumph on the line. Before turn 1, the Fallen Angels will play Stealthy Advance and get a free move. With up to half their fighters, Bella will move, Trix will also move, Nikita will move, and then over on the other side, Edge will move, and Lady Death will also get a free move. We will then go into turn 1, and priority rolls are going out. The Fallen Angels are going to be up first, and Nikita is going to lead off. She is going to move up to the lift and use her second action to activate that lift, going to the top. Acid then activates for the Iron Skulls. He moves up and activates the door, opening it. Trix activates next. She also moves to the lift and activates it, going to the top level. Rivet will then activate. He is going to use both of his actions to move. Bella activates for the Fallen Angels. She also goes onto the lift and activates it with her second action. Over for the Iron Skulls, Butch is going to make a double move up. Edge will also make a double move, getting to the ladder. Diesel is going to make a double move up down the left flank. Lady Death is going to make a double move up to get in front of this door. Spike, who is hobbled, can only move 3 inches. He's going to make a double move as well, kind of lagging behind a little bit. Razor is going to make a double move as well. Fuse is also going to make a double move. And Bone Crusher is going to make a double move as well. This is part of a group activation just to speed things up. And then over for the Fallen Angels, we're going to see another group activation. Lace, Sleek, and Eclipse are all going to make double moves up the board, everyone getting into better positions for turn 2. And turn 1 is concluded. As with many of our games, the opening turn is a lot of movement. Both gangs getting into better positions, preparing themselves for the future turns. Turn 2 priority rolls go out, and the Iron Skulls will be up first. Fuse is going to move, and he's going to fire his grenade launcher, and he's just targeting the ground here next to Sleek. Hoping to get a scatter, he will need 4s to connect on this shot. Shot is going to miss, and ammo check will be required, needing a 6. That ammo check will fail, so let's see where this thing scatters. Looks like it's going 4 inches, and it's going to hit no one. Edge then activates for the Fallen Angels. Her first action will be to move up the ladder, and her second action is going to be to target Bone Crusher with her last gun. She does have a last projector on this weapon, and he is going to get heavy cover benefits. So rolling that out, short range bonus, she's going to need 4s. She connects. Bone Crusher will go down pinned. She needs a 5 to wound due to his higher toughness. It gets a wound, and then a save roll is actually failed. So Bone Crusher will go down pinned, and he is going to take a wound. Spike then activates. He is going to move, getting out of line of sight from the ladies up top. Lady Death is then going to activate the door and move inside. Acid is going to make a move up. Lace is going to make a double move, getting to the other door. Rivet is going to activate and use both actions to move. Trix is then going to activate. She is going to move and activate this other lift. Diesel is going to use both of his actions to move. Nikita is also going to move and activate the lift. Butch is going to move up to the corner, being careful to stay out of line of sight of Bella. Bella is then going to activate by moving forward. Bone Crusher is going to stand and use his newly enhanced 5-inch move to get behind some cover. Razor will then activate with a double move, getting behind cover. Eclipse will activate, going over to help Lace. And Sleek will activate last. She is just going to move up a little, getting behind cover, but drawing line of sight to the enemy. And that brings us to the end of turn 2. So we did see a little bit of action in turn 2. Lots of movement from both sides, as both gangs are still trying to get into better positions here. I think in turn 3, that's where we're going to see the fireworks. So turn 3 coming up. Priority rolls hit the deck for turn 3. The Fallen Angels roll out a 5, and they will be up first this turn. Trix will use her first action to move. Her second action will be to fire down at Fuse with her last gun. She does have a last projector on this weapon, but he is in partial cover. 3s will be needed to hit. And that 6 will get it done. Fuse is going to go down pinned, and then she will need 5s to wound. That 6 will also wound. So Fuse going down pinned, he does have furnace plates, and armor save will be taken. And that armor save is going to fail on this 3, so an injury die will be rolled out for Fuse, 1 damage, and he's going down with a serious injury. Nearby Acid will take a cool check. He only needs a 5. 1 die didn't make it onto the camera here. He's going to pass that easily. And then we're going to move over to Bone Crusher, who is going to stick himself with Stem Slugs. Now this adds +2 to his movement, strength, and toughness, and he's going to roll out a D3, announcing a charge into Lady Death, easily going to make it into contact, getting a 7-inch base move. So he charges into Lady Death, and he is going to get a total of 5 swings, 3 base, +1 for the charge, +1 for dual weapons with his pistol, as well as the melee power hammer, and this is really going to hurt. So he needs 3s to connect. And rolling these dice out, the red die has been nominated as the Crushing Blow, which is his special skill. All of these shots are going to connect, and then needing 2s on the power hammer and 4 on the yellow, which is the sidearm. Only the pistol misses. So armor saves are going to be taken needing 6s. They all fail, and this is 2 damage each. So 8 injury dice will be rolled out here. We had to get into the bank to find enough dice to roll. She's easily going down, taken out of action by Bone Crusher, and he is going to consolidate. A nearby cool check by Razor was passed. Bone Crusher consolidates to face them. Eclipse activates. Will use her first action to move, and her second action will be to open the door. And then a little bit of cat and mouse going on here. Fuse is going to activate, and he is going to crawl over towards Acid. Next up, Nikita will activate. She's going to move, and her second action will be to fire down at Bone Crusher with her last gun. This does have a last projector on it. No cover here, so anything but 1 will hit. And she is going to get a hit on this 5. Needing 5s to wound as well. Does not get that, however. He does go down pinned. And nobody wants any of Bone Crusher right now. Strength 6, toughness 6. Acid will activate next. He will move to the side of Fuse, and he is going to target Sleek with his stub cannon. She is in partial cover, so he will need 5s to connect on this shot. He will get a hit, and the roll to wound also going to be successful. An armor save will be taken by Sleek and failed on a 4. She does have mesh armor. That's not good enough. Injury die rolled out for her. It is a flesh wound. Sleek will then stand up and use her second action to move, getting out of line of sight. And then Rivet will activate. He is going to move, and he is going to attempt to fire his Rivet cannon down at Razor, and she is just out of range. Ammo check taken, everything was fine. Edge then moves to the side of the building. She is going to target Rivet, and she only needs 2s here. Has a last projector on this weapon, short range. Anything but 1 is going to do a hit. And she's going to get a hit barely on this 2. She will need 5s to wound, however, and that will wound. Armor save will be taken with furnace plates, and it's no good. So he will take a wound and go down pinned. The Iron Skulls are up next, and Diesel will use his first action to move. His second action will be to fire at Eclipse. No cover. He's got a stub cannon out. He will need a straight up 4 to hit. And that hit will fail. Ammo check will be required, and it will fail, so his gun is jammed up. This will get a reaction from Bella across the board, who will aim and fire, needing anything but 1 to hit. Got her plasma gun. She's easily going to sink a hit here. And then needing 3s to wound, it will do a wound on this 4. An armor save will be taken and failed. Furnace plates in the front, no good. Injury die rolled out, it is a flesh wound. Now we will take an initiative check for Diesel. He will fail. That means he is going to fall and take a strength 3 hit. That will do a wound on this 5, needing 5s. And then we will take an armor save here. With his furnace plates, it will fail. Another injury die will be rolled out. And it's an out of action. So the Fallen Angels will tie the game up at 1. Back over to the Iron Skulls. Butch will stick himself with Stem Slugs. Move at the double 12 inches, trying to stay out of range of the Flame template. That will get a reaction from Lace. She will use both of her actions to move to the door. And then back over to the Iron Skulls. Spike is going to pop around the corner, pull out a stub cannon, and target Eclipse. No cover here. Short range, just needs a 4+ to hit. That shot will hit. Eclipse will go down pinned. The roll to wound, however, fails. And then back over for the Fallen Angels. Razor will activate and use both of her actions to move, not wanting to test any kind of combat with Bone Crusher at this time. And turn 3 comes to a close. Action really starting to heat up. We saw some close combat. A fighter went down on each side. We roll the wrong die here for Fuse. He gets a serious injury on one. He's getting an assist there from Acid. The other one was a serious injury as well when we re-rolled this back out, so he is going to stay down. No bottle checks required. Butch and Bone Crusher were successfully able to recover from their Stem Slugs, and the score is tied at 1 as we go into turn 4. Turn 4 priority rolls go out. The Fallen Angels will be up, and Edge is going to shoot at Acid. She does have a last projector, short range but full cover. That will take her to a 4. The shot is going to miss. I'm going to use the Lucky Shot Tactics card here to re-roll this out, and she's going to get a hit. An ammo check is required, and that's good. So Acid is going to go down pinned. Rolling out to wound here, needing 5s. The wound roll is no good, so she will use her second action to move. Spike then activates, and he is going to stick himself with Stem Slugs and announce a charge into Eclipse. And he only has a 3-inch base move. That Stem Slug takes him to a 5, and he easily gets into contact here, getting a 3 on that D3 roll. And he is going to swing 3 times. The Fighting Knife in black, the Stub Gun in yellow, needing 4s. Too bad the Stem Slugs don't help with weapon skill. All of those are going to miss. She is going to get reaction attacks. Only 1, though, with her last pistol, and it will miss. Trix then activates. She will aim and fire at Bone Crusher. This is a legal shot as he is not behind cover. She only needs 2s. Short range last projector. She's going to connect with her last gun, and she's going to get a wound needing 5s, and an armor save is made by Bone Crusher. He had to get a 6 and got it, so he now feels the heat. He is going to stand and use his 5-inch move to get behind cover. Nikita will activate next and take the same shot as Trix at Bone Crusher with her last gun. It does need force this time to hit, and it will need 5s to wound. So we are going to watch this roll out and then go to the live save roll. Big roll, go. Oh! And Bone Crusher makes his Furnace Plate save in the front, avoids that last wound being taken off, and avoids the injury die roll. Still goes down pinned. What a roll. We move back over to the Iron Skulls. Rivet is going to stand and fire at Edge with his Rivet Cannon using Superheat. He does need 6s due to cover, and he's going to fail. Bella is up next. She will move and draw a line of sight to Butch. She is going to fire with her second action with her plasma gun. It is short range, and it only needs 2s to connect here. Rapid fire, 2 hits are going to go through. Only need 3s to wound. The first wound goes through, and getting the second wound, it also goes through. Rapid fire, so we're going to see no armor saves here as it is in the back. Furnace Plate's no good there. 4 injury dice are rolled out, 2 flesh wounds, and a serious injury. And then Acid is going to stand and move next to the ladder. Eclipse is then going to activate for the Fallen Angels, and she is going to fight. She has a last pistol, 4 up needed to hit. Going against Spike, she is going to fail. Reaction attacks will come back across. The fighting knife in black and the stub gun in yellow. He's going to land a few hits of his own. The wound rolls are going to be good, and then the armor save is going to fail. So 2 injury dice being rolled out here. She is going down with a serious injury. As a side note, I do want to add that we only rolled 1 save there because the other one's AP cut right through her armor, so wanted to explain that. Next up, Fuse is going to make a crawl move to get an assist from Acid on his injury roll at the end phase. And then Lace is going to activate the door here, opening that up, and she is going to move through, getting closer to an injured Butch. Now Goliath will play a tactics card, Inhuman Resilience. Any pinned fighters will stand up, and we will take an injury roll for any seriously injured fighters, treating an out of action as seriously injured. Fuse will roll back over with a flesh wound, and then we're going to roll for Butch here. This would be interesting if the Iron Skulls won priority next turn, and it looks like he is going to stay down with a serious injury. Razor will then activate. She is going to move around the corner and target Bone Crusher. And she's got a last gun. It will be short range, but he is going to get full cover. She also has a last projector on this weapon, so that's going to need 4s in order to connect, and she will miss. Next up, Butch is going to make a crawl move, and then Sleek is going to activate for the Fallen Angels and make a double move, trying to get ready to cut off Bone Crusher as he makes his way towards the edge, and that brings a very active turn 4 to a close. And what a turn 4 that was. Lots of action across the board, lots of tactics being played, lots of really good dice rolls. There are victory points ready to be grabbed. We are going to take a roll here for Spike to see if he recovers from his stem slug, and he will. We will also roll out a die for Butch to see if he rolls back over with a flesh wound. It looks like he's going to stay down with a serious injury. Bottle checks and everything were good, and we are looking forward to an action-packed turn 5 coming up. Turn 5 priority rolls go out. The Iron Skulls will be up first, and they're going to go ahead and score a victory point here as Spike is going to give the coup de grace to Eclipse and use his second action to move, trying to get out of line of sight from the girls up top. Edge will activate next and fire at Rivet with her last gun. Last projector short range, full cover will need 4s. That will hit. Ammo check required is good. We'll need 5s to wound, and that's going to be good as well. So armor save will be taken. Furnace plates in the front, and it's going to be failed. Injury die will be rolled out as that's his second wound, and he's going down with a serious injury. Edge will then use her second action to move, and then Bone Crusher is going to activate. He is going to move behind cover and fire with his stub cannon. He will be targeting Sleek, who does have a lower toughness due to a flesh wound. He will only need 3s to connect here as she is out in the open, and he will connect on this shot, so just needing 2s to wound. That will go through. Armor save is taken, and it's good. She's just going down pinned. And we've then got Trix, who is going to move into position and fire at Spike. Last projector on this weapon, full cover, short range, so she will need 4s, and that shot is going to miss. Next up, Butch will crawl, and we're going to go ahead and take care of business here. Lace is going to do a charge and take him out of action. Rivet is then going to make a crawl, and then we'll move over to Sleek, who is going to stand and move out of line of sight from Bone Crusher. Acid is then going to activate. He will use his first action to move, and his second action is going to fire his stub gun at Edge, and this is point blank range, getting a +2 modifier short range, so he needs 2s to hit, and he will do a hit. He needs 3s to wound, and that will wound. So a 5-up save will be taken for mesh armor, and it's going to be good. Next up, Nikita is going to aim and fire down at Acid, finally getting the shot that she wants, needing a 2-up. Strength 3, toughness 4, and requires a 5, so that's no good. But the target goes down pinned, and that's just as good in this situation. Moving over to Fuse, he is going to stand and then attempt to reload his grenade launcher. He does need a 6, however, and that roll is going to fail. Back over for the Fallen Angels, we'll see Bella. She's going to activate the lift and then use her second action to move. And then ending for the Fallen Angels, Razor is going to move, hoping to get line of sight to Spike on the next turn. And that will bring turn 5 to a close. The score is tied 2-2. It does feel like that the Iron Skulls are getting on the back foot a little bit. The Fallen Angels are doing great at range with their last guns, with the last projectors. It's been very difficult for Goliath to get up close, and it does feel like at this point the Fallen Angels are starting to pull away, although the score is tied at 2. Anything can happen though. Turn 6 coming up, we're going to see Bottle Check taken by the Iron Skulls, and that is going to be just fine. And then we're going to roll for Rivet, and it looks like he is going to stay down with a serious injury. Turn 6 priority rolls go out, and it results in a tie. Therefore, the Fallen Angels will get the first move. Razor is going to pop around the corner with a move and target Spike with her last gun. Short range with the last projector. He does get partial cover, and 3s are needed. Going to get a hit here, and 5s needed to wound. It's not going to happen, so he goes down pinned. Fuse activates next, and he is going to make a double move, staying out of line of sight. Lace then activates. She will move, and then she is going to let loose with her Nightshade Chem Thrower. So we're going to take a gas roll here, needing a 4 on Spike, and that's going to fail. Acid then activates. He is going to stand and fire his stub gun at Edge, who's on the ground there. Needs a 2, it will connect, and then needing a 4 to wound, nothing there. Bella will react with an aim and fire at Acid with her plasma gun. Only needs 2s to connect here, and will easily get that, and then needs 3s to wound. That fails. Acid goes back down pinned. Spike will then activate, and he is going to use his first action to stand, and his second action is going to be to target Lace, and he's going to fire with a stub gun, needing 2s, and fails. Trix then activates for the Angels. She is going to aim and fire at Spike with her last gun. Needs a 3 up, a short range, last projector, and aim. That shot's going to fail. He's getting full cover there. Rivet will then make a crawl move to get an assist from Fuse. Edge is going to stand and fire at Bone Crusher. I totally missed this move here, needing a 2+, no cover. The shot will connect, and ammo check is going to be good. The roll to wound is going to fail. So Bone Crusher will go down pinned. Bone Crusher is then going to activate, stand to his feet, and then he is going to move towards Edge. Nikita then activates with an aim and fire, only needing 2s, targeting Acid on the ground there. He's not behind cover. The hit roll is good. The wound roll needs 5s, however, and fails. Sleek is the last to activate for the Angels, and she makes a double move. Turn 6 in the books. The score is still tied at 2. Fighters are pinned all over for Goliath. We'll have to see what happens with Rivet on his injury roll, but the priority roll coming up for turn 7 is going to be very key because the Iron Skulls are in a position to charge in 2 different places. So we'll have to see how that pans out coming up. First, we're going to take a bottle test for the Iron Skulls. They're actually going to fail on this 5, so they will be testing. And then rolling for Rivet here, he is getting an assist. He will roll back over with a flesh wound. Cool checks were made all over for the Iron Skulls, and the fight continues. Turn 7 priority rolls are going out now. The Iron Skulls will be up first. And to start off, Spike is going to charge into Lace, and he's going to play the Tactics card, Knockout Blow, so wounds will be automatic if they go through. So he's going to get 2 shots from his fighting knife and 1 from his stub gun in yellow. And needing 4s, only 1 on the combat knife is going to go through. It does auto wound. An armor save is taken and failed, so Lace will take a wound. She is going to do reaction attacks, 2 from her stiletto knife that has toxin in black, 1 from her pistol. The pistol will wound on a 5. An armor save is taken, furnace plates up front. That's going to be good. And then 2 toxin attacks, 1 are going to go through and wound here. Another armor save being taken, furnace plates good again in the front. We move over to Edge, and she is going to announce a charge into Acid. She's only going to get 2 attacks here, but she's kind of between a rock and a hard place at this point. So makes the charge, 2 attacks with her stiletto knife. She'll hit on 4s, and 1 will go through. 4-up toxin roll will be made, and it's good. So furnace plates save in the front will be failed. An injury die will be rolled out for Acid. He goes down with a serious injury and gets the coup de grace from Edge. Continuing action, Fuse will launch an assault into Razor in a charge he cannot fail, and he is going to get 3 total swings, 2 from his fighting knife and 1 from his stub gun, and he will need 4s to connect. So he's going to connect on 1 of each, and then he will need 4s on the stub gun and 3s on the combat knife. The stub gun will go through, so a save is taken and made. She will then turn to face and swing, needing 5s with her stiletto knife. It misses, and then 5s from her last pistol. It misses as well. Razor wants another shot, so she'll activate next. She'll get 1 swing from her stiletto knife and a pistol shot. Needing 4s, the pistol shot will go through, only needs 3s to wound due to Fuse's lower toughness due to a flesh wound. The wound goes through, an armor save will be taken and failed, an injury die is rolled out, and he's going out of action. The Fallen Angels extend their lead 4-2. Bone Crusher then moves, aims at Sleek, and fires with his plasma pistol, only needing 3s to connect. He will get a hit, she goes down pinned. Only needs 2s to wound, strength 5, and she's got a lower toughness. The wound goes through, it's going to cut right through her armor, and she goes down with a serious injury. Lace will then attack back at Spike, 2 swings from her stiletto knife and a pistol shot. She needs 4s to connect, and 1 of these stiletto knives will go through. It will be a toxin roll, so that roll is coming back out. Needing a 4, that will succeed. An armor save will be taken and failed. An injury die is rolled out, and it looks like Spike will take a flesh wound. He swings back, and again, underperforming. An ammo check will be required, and it is going to be okay. Rivet then targets Edge with his Rivet Cannon, and he's going to fire it in superheat, but needs 6s due to cover. The shot will miss. And that brings us to the end of the turn, where the Fallen Angels have pushed their lead to 4-2. Edge was able to take out Acid in hand-to-hand combat, and Razor took down Fuse in hand-to-hand combat. And I think in this one, it's only a matter of time, as the Iron Skulls are running out of activations, and things are just starting to swing more and more towards the Fallen Angels. Bottle checks are good. Injury roll comes out for Sleek. She's going out of action. The score now becomes 4-3, Fallen Angels. Priority rolls for turn 8 are coming out now, and the Iron Skulls are going to be up. And we are just going to give you the turn highlights here. Acid tries to take down Lace again, but has very bad dice rolls in her reaction attacks due to his lower toughness from flesh wounds. She absolutely rocks him, and that pushes the Escher lead to 5-3. Edge makes a move to take shots at Rivet. She does pin him, but no wounds. Bone Crusher makes a double move going for the edge of the board, but I don't think this is going to work out for him, and it doesn't. He gets pinned by all the fire from all the ladies up top in the tower. And then Rivet returns fire at Edge, takes her down with a serious injury, and that more or less brings us to the end of turn 8 and what is essentially the end of the game. And as you saw, Edge rolls back over with a flesh wound. This game is getting called a 6-4 victory for the Fallen Angels, and going back and reading the scenario, it just says you don't have to be engaged and you can make it off the board. So Bone Crusher will make it off the board, giving the Iron Skulls a victory point, but when going to make cool test, Rivet rolls up a 3 and flees the battlefield. So the Fallen Angels will be taking a 6-4 victory today. And we've got the post game coming right up. And welcome to the postgame, where the Fallen Angels come away with a 6-4 victory. The Fallen Angels improved their record to 4-2, while the Iron Skulls dropped to 3-3. This game took an incredible amount of time to play, and by the time I'm writing this and putting on the finishing touches, I think we're both just mentally exhausted. It took just an incredible amount of time to play the game and to film it going 8 turns. You can imagine how long it took. The Iron Skulls were at a disadvantage at the start of this game. The Fallen Angels had more activations, and they had the high ground. The last guns with the last projectors are really brutal, as the gun already has an 18-inch short range and the projector gives them +2 to hit prior to cover. I thought the Iron Skulls played well, but dice rolls and getting caught in the open with limited movement really hurt. I do like the stem slugs for the extra movement to give them the needed boost when it counts, but it wasn't enough to overcome the Fallen Angels today. For the spoils, the Fallen Angels will gain 3 rep, while the Iron Skulls will lose a rep. The Fallen Angels will also gain 6 meat. The MVP of this game goes to Edge. She valiantly pushed up the board, pinning several fighters and taking out one before going down with an injury. Her threat on that side of the board slowed the Iron Skulls' advance and allowed her crew to rain down fire from above. We hope you enjoyed this game of Necromunda. Up next, we have the epic conclusion to our story as the Corpse Grinder cult faces off against the High-Sec Enforcers. If you would like to leave any feedback for us, be sure to leave a comment below, and we will see you in the next one.